Hi everyone and welcome to our last class. I'm going to be starting with a quote from Anonymous that I find quite challenging and thought-provoking. Identity, one of our most precious possessions. You believe we all have one, but you're sadly mistaken. Identity belongs only to those who are important, those who have earned it by struggle and blood, those who matter. You, my friend, do not. Identity is a fragile and weak thing. It can be stolen or replaced, even forgotten. Identity is a pointless thing for people like us. So why not let go of it and become anonymous? So we've seen that image boards have their own particular history. This kind of software, which is pretty basic, was actually started as a form of social interaction. This kind of forum was started in Japan back in the 1990s, and it migrated to the West only in the early 2000s, in particular when a teenager who was based in New York City, Christopher Poole, decided to make an English version of the Japanese Futaba channel, one of the more popular image boards in Japan, and 4chan became very quickly a meme factory. All the kind of early internet memes came out of 4chan, and it ended up attracting over 1 million unique visitors per day, becoming the most popular internet forum in the United States. And I want to be focusing here on three defining features of image boards, right? On the first level, image boards are ephemeral, right? The discussion threads in image boards expire, as image boards do not store discussions, do not have a proper database, and this is the opposite of the persistence and searchability of social network sites, which are two defining features, two of the four structural affordances Dana Boyd refers to in describing the rise of network publics. Second, communication in image boards is anonymous. Attribution is difficult. It is not impossible to track someone's IP address, although some people also know how to disguise their IP addresses. But what matters here is the kind of cultural anonymity that you get on an image board, as anonymity fosters this inhibition, right? And individual reputation is not affected because it is not really possible to grow an individual profile. On a third level, communication in image boards is co-individual. This is a term that I use and that I've introduced to talk about these kind of interactions, where each of these segments, if you want, is a individual transaction, right? So discussion threads emerge as kind of co-individual assemblages that acquire a life of their own, and these entails the emergence of new forms of subjectivity, such as Anonymous itself, which is ultimately a function of the image board. As a matter of fact, Anonymous emerged in 2005 from 4chan as this flame war, as we've seen, erupted between the so-called trip fags, right? Those who tried to use a trip code to identify themselves and therefore establish a reputation on 4chan, in particular in the image board B, and those who instead say, no, we should all be anonymous because what matters here is the content of what you present on what you post and not who has posted. And this battle ends with a victory, as it were, of the anons, which ultimately begin to say we are anonymous, right? It's no longer just anonymous as a function, as a software function of the image board, but as it becomes a collective assemblage of initiation. Now, based on these short, brief considerations, I want to ask you three questions. First, do you think that anonymous as a point, right? Why are we so attached to our identities, right? Does individual identity really matter, especially to those who are not famous or important? Don't you think it would be liberating not to have to respond for your actions all the time, also in a positive way, right? I'm not saying that when you act anonymously, you necessarily have to do something bad, but you can do things that you would not otherwise do. And third, can you make examples in these directions, right? Drawn from your internet life, from your experiences using Snapchat, for example, which is an ephemeral platform in which you feel freer to act, and you don't get to worry too much about the consequences of your actions. So I'm looking forward to reading your responses. It was a really great semester for me. I really enjoyed all the discussions really we had that I thought were really fantastic. And yes, I'll see you hopefully in real life soon, although I'll be away for actually a couple of years. I'll be in Europe. Bye bye.